I'd like to call this meeting to order, which is the regular meeting for May the 2nd, 2023. As we are gathered today, I would like to acknowledge on behalf of this committee and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history. And we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Does any member of council have any pecuniary financial interest to declare? Having seen none, I'd like to call upon Mr. McGinnis. Don?
Well, basically, here's what I'm trying to, if it's being told by the grapevine too, that our fire Creek is again not getting done. And we'd like to know if this is a fixed deal, that it's not getting done again. What's going on 6 years now, we just get told that it's not, and we, just have some questions out about getting it done. So we need to know, number one, this is a fixed deal definitely this year, the contracts have been given out and everything done for the other two roads that were in question. That been done?
Nothing. They're in process.
But the process is definite process. Those two are the ones that are getting done this year, and that's it.
We'll have to council decide, but I'm working on tenders right now, but that's the council will decide.
Because I kind of want to understand how the road tour was canceled this year. So how do they vote on something that they haven't seen? Because I went toward the two roads myself the other day, and compared to our road, they look pretty good. In fact, one of them was like a 401 compared to our road. So it's, how do they justify the difference? Like I was told that it was an expense. Ours was more expensive. We can do two instead of one, but we could have done half of ours this year and half next year, and we would have ended up with the same thing. Because the rate, since the flooding started, it was done in 2017, and it's all going to get done. It's just going back. Oh, we don't have enough this year. We're going to go next year. We're going to go next year, but the cost keeps going up. When's it going to match up? They don't seem to budget for any of these big roads to get done. So these smaller roads, well, we're getting pretty sad, and they're spending a lot of money patching. I mean, getting first name basis on everybody, and half time going by, yeah, another 2 or 3 roads today, and sometimes they're there 5 days a week. That's got to add up as a cost. And you said you're going to do this patch with the grader or whatever. That's going to be a big cost again. And the other patches that they did that once before, it's already falling apart. So at what point does council decide that, hey, we got to do something with this road? Because number one, there's a whole bunch on the other side of the creek. In fact, there's 11 full residents there all the time. And there's another 10 part-time residents. We're all on the opposite side of the creek. So one of these beaver dams up here ever burst, we're done. And now you're going to have a whole bunch of families and kids and everything else on the wrong side of the creek. And it's going to get awfully expensive because this would have to be done out of the road budgets as an emergency or something like that. At what point do you justify not doing it? Is what I'm trying to get at. Like, I don't know why they keep putting it off. Well, too expensive, we're going to do it next year. Well, I've been told that by you and the previous mayor and several councils over the years. That next year, you're number one. No, number one never comes up.
Again, I'd like to talk about this myself. Preliminary budget when we talk to council, I bring forth the roles in one, or ask council to proceed with it or whatever. It's council decision. So my number one road was Hillcrest. We try to do every road, we try to do every word kind of thing. My number one was Hillcrest. My number two was Myers Creek. So it is council decision make the, to make the funding and stuff like that, so I just wanted to let you guys know that it wasn't me, that's not. Like, you're looking at me, no, you're looking at me kind of saying that it's my fault, it's not my fault.
Well, no, I'm not saying it's your
Well,
fault.
you're looking at me kind of, I'm kind of saying, no, this is not.
Much it doesn't do because I had mentioned that, I had talked to you about it here, so.
Yeah, and I will speak on behalf of, I talked to you yesterday, but I'll speak up. I think we made our decision based on Hillcrest was the number one, and we just thought it's the cost, it's just the cost for us, that we have $360,000, and we know all these roads, like 311, okay, so we just thought we'd just get more bang for our buck and do the number one, number three, and that moves yours up. And I know
Yeah,
it's not,
not
if
moving
we,
ours up.
if we didn't, I know, but if we, we have people on Hillcrest really irate with us, who would be sitting in those chairs. It's like. So we're kind of like, we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't in some ways, like I totally understand your, I'd probably be really upset too, and I totally understand, and I totally get it. We made a decision based on money and how much we could get done this year.
Yeah,
So-
the problem with that, excuse me, but the problem with that is every year it says, oh yeah, we're gonna do it next year. But every year it's the same thing, we don't have enough money. But nobody seems to plan on anything like this. There's no direct roads, committee or something that's doing the planning right, or like I said, you could have done half of ours. And that would have been better than
Yeah.
nothing.
I guess we don't think of times about,
Yeah.
like, when they're priced out,
We would not,
do a half a
we would
road.
never do half to a local back.
You know, when are you gonna, we have enough money to do our roads in? Because this has been,
I'm not
six
sure.
years now.
I'm not sure who's been telling you next year. Nobody in this position. Has
Well, like I
the
said-
right, has the right to say next year because we don't know until we sit down for budget. So anybody that's been telling you. We're doing it next year should not have been telling you that.
Well, it's been happening,
But
I mean.
And
So
I just thought
my biggest question is, how do we as players now, get involved in the process of getting our road up there? Because you never find out until all of a sudden they fall, oh, well, you're not doing it.
You're in the process
Yeah.
right now.
No, but is there a process to get it? Do we email everybody and say, oh, it's a new pothole today?
You're in the
Like,
process
what-
right now voicing your concerns, and that's being noted. By all people sitting at this table. But if you're here tonight. Expecting a promise that we're gonna do it next year. Unfortunately, we cannot do that.
Oh, I can understand that because they've been telling me the same thing all the time, not much, but what my question is, they're not gonna do. A road because it's over their allotted budget or whatever, when are they gonna get it done where you're gonna put enough to do a road?
Yeah.
If you're not gonna do half and half.
I can't answer that question because I don't know.
Isn't that a better solution than waiting forever and ever and ever? Because it's kind of thing, like I hate to think of the number of dollars since the original flood that they put into that road, just patching.
Yeah. But now to do half and half, well, that's going to be 2 years out of our budget.
That's not 2 years.
Well, two parts of the road.
Yeah.
Now, all I can say is. You were number 2 on the list this year. I can't see why you wouldn't be number 1 on these lists next year, right?
But don't take them.
No, I don't.
No, but this is the problem. I mean, I've been told that
Yeah.
before, that you're
Yeah.
not, no problem. Actually,
Like, I don't even know what it was estimated cost.
Well, same as Traymore,
Roughly.
just like Traymore. It was 1.6.
Wouldn't be service people having options.
And again, it's every year, we don't know what's out there for grants that we try to get.
what's it do for the other two? The other two are 200 and something each now?
It was, I'm not sure the exact numbers.
Yeah, roughly.
I mean, there's over the budget right there.
But we did decide that Hillcrest had to be done this year. That was their decision. So after we made that decision, we don't have enough money in the budget to do your road. I feel bad, I understand, I drive that road as well, I went there to people's places. I know that. I know the other roads are bad too, we have so many bad roads in our township.
I know we got some bad roads, but how do we go about getting a process, as residents, as taxpayers, we ask. They say, oh yeah, next year, of course, next year comes, we never get anything. And oh, it's okay, it's gonna be the following year. And we keep watching all these costs going up, because they're not cheaper, I mean, it's like taxes, your taxes go up every year, you pay them every year, I can't say, well. Oh, I can't do that this year, and you're lower, because my budget's smaller this year than it was last year. You know, at some point, there's gotta be something that we as taxpayers can do to. Maybe get the process done. You know, I don't know. Usually,
I don't know.
experts.
Harold, do you have anything?
But I have one more question before. You just said something about if a beaver dam breaks.
Yeah. A couple of beaver dams between us and Mass Road there.
Okay.
One of them goes, like if it was to go today, we wouldn't be talking because we'd be stuck on the other side of the creek.
Just for my clarification. That has nothing to do with fixing your road, does it?
Well,
If
it turns
fix
out
the
it's
road,
gonna
the beaver dam
because
breaks.
there's nothing left of the surface, basically, so what happens is. The water comes up, it goes over the road, it causes more damage than normal because. There's nothing left of the surface, I mean, the edge is all gone. So, man, if that water gets up to flood level or it goes over it, then it causes more and more trouble, that's why they did that major patch last time, because. Like half the pavement on one side disappeared. And it wasn't that bad a flood, I mean, we were driving back and forth.
Yeah,
But if, you know, if the a dam or something will go, because it would take that top off immediately, and then everything would be done. Culverts and. You know, it's not. I'm not saying that that's the only reason it would go, we had a real good flood this year.
no, that's fine,
Thank God we didn't have the meltdown and everything we were expecting, because it probably would have been a lot worse.
no, that's fine, I just wasn't sure where you're going.
Yeah, no, it's just because of the surface, even if that water gets up, and which would happen if one of them broke the city side places. It's just the idea if they ever give out, and I hope they don't, because it would wipe out half my field, lower field too, so, which I don't want. But because of the surface itself being very poor, it's just gonna peel that off, and once that peels off, it doesn't take much water at all, but force of water to take the rest of the road. It's all concentrated in one section.
Harold, as Chair of Roads, do you have any questions or any comments?
No, I understand where you're coming from, the road does have to be done, and the unfortunate part is. Tough year for money this year, budget wise for everything. A lot of stuff that we wanted to get done this year that we were not getting done. We have a little bit of a reserve, if we drain that reserve to do a road, if something comes up, an emergency.
Well,
I gotta go more $200 million.
Yeah.
You know, it's, and I understand, if I drove your road, I know what it's like, you can't miss the pothole. You know,
No.
when you hit 10,
If you look at it now, actually, it's a 4-lane road because everybody's got driving in the ditch on both sides of the road, except they have to go back where the culverts are. But they get across the culverts and back out and drive up the side of the road because don't drive on the road unless you want to go spend money in the garage or we get the alignment.
so.
You know, so there's a lot of that, and the upper end of the road, which most folks here are in now, it's getting worse every year as well.
But that's the one that goes up the hill at the end of the.
Well, just
That's the one.
from this side of the, like, that side of the bridge. Up to the flat there where the turnaround. is. I mean, that's getting worse every year, look, because it's deteriorating, it's been there longer than it should have without a major fix. But the cost keeps going up on it.
Unfortunately.
I mean, that's what, you know, what you're telling me is the same thing I've been getting every year where the cost goes up, well. Some point it's gotta get done, how do we do it? That's what I'm getting at, is how do we do it? I mean, it's gotta get done. Because the cost is not gonna go down,
No, definitely.
it's not gonna, I haven't seen it yet. You know, like, we need to know when we got some nominal for doing this thing. Because it just doesn't seem to happen, so we're gonna, You know, get more involved in the process from today on to find out why. You know,
Well, I pray to God, we have a whole new council here. And we all know now that we all are sitting here, and now we are all aware, we've driven all the roads, like, by the way, you went out, I went out. Like, so we're not making, it's not just a willy-nilly kind of,
yeah,
we did actually go out and drive the roads. But we all know, we're all very aware that your road is bad, like, I don't think there's one thing who would say that we don't know that your road needs to be fixed. So,
yeah, that's the thing, everybody's telling me that, but
yeah,
everybody then turns around, telling me we don't have the money. How do we get to the point where we get the money? That's what we're trying to get.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
my thought is not, you know, is that your road would be a priority, like, it would be a priority level road. You know, I will hope that it will get fixed in the next foreseeable future. Without saying next year.
Brian, do you want to come?
Yeah, just a few comments. First of all, I know what you're saying about the road is done and the inspector, but unfortunately, we have a lot of roads like that in that same condition and we've got 3 wards in this township and every ward has roads in that same condition. So we agreed to do your road and next week we're gonna have somebody from Ward 1 or Ward 3 coming in here and with the same, you know, there's only X number of members. You have to make a decision and it's not always the one that you guys want to hear. But I'll tell you, every road we fixed in the last 8 years since I've been on there, I haven't had one person come in and say they didn't think it needed to be fixed.
Oh, I ain't going to say that, but how do we get to a point?
We're using it to fix roads
Yeah.
that need fixing also.
Yeah, but how do we get to a point where it's big enough to fix more than,
Yeah, I agree.
you know?
And I also agree with Ted's, what he said there about the, next year thing. I don't understand how somebody could be telling you, you're gonna fix your road next year. That decision cannot be made until the time comes. You know, we can't say that now. I think,
Yeah, okay, but how do we get to a point where? You know,
so, yeah.
that
it's
the
like-
council as a whole.
That was already said, and I'm repeating it.
Yeah.
You're on the list with a whole bunch of other ones, and we will work on them.
Yeah, but I think it seems to be the level of what they budget for roads is below what a road like ours would take. What I'm saying, how do we get that, the council in the whole, how do we get that?
It's not only the roads, but it's everything this year, it's, everything that's.
They've been asking that, it's just,
How do we, you know, where do we get the money from?
yeah, I've been working on a cottage for 8 months. I know exactly what the costs are, and different stuff.
Exactly.
I mean, you have to go shopping a little more, and you have to be a little wiser in what you spend. But you can get it done. Now, your budget's gonna go. You know, but it can be done, but I mean, what I'm saying is it always seems to be the budget for roads, like fixing, picking out, you know, 1 or 2 roads or whatever. Seems to be too low for a road like ours all the time. And like, you'll never fix it that way, because you're always gonna get a street here or a street down there that, oh, we need these 2 streets, I'm gonna do them more than ours. I mean, at some point, you gotta lift the budget up to do a little bit more work. It's gonna cost more taxes, I don't care. Not that I don't care, but, I mean, you can justify certain things, but I mean, there's gotta be a point where there's some hope for the future.
Dean?
Yeah.
Just to interject on that,
Yeah.
trying to convince council, like, your role right now is everything.
Yeah.
I think it's like millimeters. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to convince council to do hot mix to it.
Yeah.
So that costs obviously a lot of money. If
Yeah.
you look at Traymore Road and from the bridge of Traymore to Red Rock, that was like, close to $200,000. That's gonna be there probably for 15-20 years.
Yeah.
Without doing stuff. So with the surface treatment, like I think I was talking on the phone.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, 6 or 7 realistically. So how long was that road, that Fire Creek Road surface treatment? It was probably 15 years. Long.
Yeah.
So technically, so I'm trying to push council, and that's obviously their decision.
Yeah.
Trying to push council to do pockets, so then that road would last a lot longer than 6 to 7 years.
Yeah, you know, none of it's the amount of traffic that's on that. road.
No, for sure.
We first went on that road, it was virtually not that much traffic on it, but
No,
I mean, now there's more traffic on that, on weekends, more traffic on that, than just a bit of road change, you know, like,
no, it was-
it's just ridiculous.
For sure.
But
That's my own, like I said, I'm trying to push council, yeah, and certain treatment, it's okay, but obviously, it doesn't last as long as my coffee paid kind of thing, so that's what I'm trying to push council to do. That's why it's costing a lot more money, so it's putting a burden on, it's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, money is tough.
the weather's not helping right now, either, because I know that there's oil dripping into the creek now and what was done today.
Over the whole project.
Yeah, because it's just pouring down into the creek, which is probably not environmentally friendly. I would think.
So maybe
So-
Ronald, the work will be made, wait will be worth it in the long run. Hot days next year.
Well, I'd like to do it, but you know, when I could ask, walk up and down the road too. Right.
So
Okay, thank you very much.
Don, thanks very much and your group for coming. I think it really shows your passion and it's we can feel it. And believe you me, we started off this process when we first had our roads meeting, and there may have been 10 to 12 roads. Narrowed it down, we came down to 3, and you've heard tonight that it was a matter of dollars and cents. And the 2 roads that have been in the process of being tendered are less than what were they, 0.6 of a kilometer. I think so. They were something to that effect. We compared your road to Traymore, which last year was 300,000, and it's 1.6 kilometers, or your road was 1.5. So we brought all of those factors into account and realized if we did your road, probably it would take us over the budget. Even though we had to the starting point was the road number 1. We had to do that one for sure. And then to fill yours in would have really exceeded our budget, which this budget process has been an eye opener. And I'm not sure if this does any good by me saying this, but during the election, the process, I wanted to do every road in KHR. I wanted them all done. Unfortunately, that can't happen. We turned down roads that we desperately need to be done in Killaloo and other places. I'm not sure if that makes you feel any better or not, but I'm just trying to explain. Everyone who lives on a road is in the same boat, other than those 2 places that we're doing this year. Well, to the point where we're at. I think you heard a lot of comments from around the table. Like I said, everyone feels your pain. We all want your road done. And hopefully through the next process, we can get it done. But again, no promises, as Ted said. And sure, I could apologize for the previous, wherever you heard those comments from before, but I know around this table, nobody will say to you, you're next on the list, or you're number 1 on the list. That's not going to happen. It's a process, and we go through the process. We will for the next 3 budgets after this one, the same process to get to the finish line. So.
Yeah, well, I'll stick around with this anyway, but like I'm saying, there's gotta be a process too where they. 360,000 or whatever it was, the budget. 311,000. So, you know, it should have been a little bigger, knowing the different projects that were out there.
That's what we get from the government. Here, 11,000, that's what we get from the government. That's not for the council budgets, that's from the government. You get OCA up and plus gas tax.
Okay, so this. No roads are fixed unless the government pays for it. The provincial pays for getting money for it.
No, we get grant money from the province every year. That money from the grant money goes directly to roads.
But it's a grant money with a that fixes the roads, basically.
Right.
So we need somebody screaming at Toronto and get more grant money.
Well, yeah, every year, they're not quick in releasing their funds. So, and you never know until the very last minute if you're going to get funded. So what we've tried to do at the county level is try to get them to commit in October, November, that to commit that we're going to get that money. And we haven't had that answer yet. So every year we have to wait until the very last minute before they say.
But what I'm saying is we need to you need to give a list of all the people that get in, the tubers at Toronto, particularly, and give it to all the taxpayers and say, oh, no.
Yeah.
Just,
Just so you know, we just went to the Ontario Bid Roads Conference in Toronto weeks ago. And I've gone 5 times now. And it's the same thing every time. They have these big presentations that they're giving $25 billion to municipalities to build roads. Well, 85% of it goes to the GPA. And you could go down there with a baseball bat or whatever you want, or call them as many times as you want. Sad part is, it's not going to change their minds.
get that for email.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Please do.
It wouldn't, or.
Yeah,
not
anyway.
Yeah.
You gave credit for that.
Yeah.
He was one of the guys at the conference and talking, at the time of talking.
Yeah.
So as I said, you were definitely on the list, and if we could have used any type of prying device to get your road in this year, we certainly would have. So I know that's small solace, but that's where we're at. But we appreciate you coming and telling us your story.
It was just to keep reminding us.
Oh, that's all we're doing. And I've gone back through the 2017 meetings, I think Wires Road, Creek Road, was not what you put in the whole time. Well, somebody mentioned this, and then I would say, well, somebody mentioned this road, and I think, geez, I talked to everybody all along all these years, how come nobody's mentioned Wires Creek all these years? So I'm thinking, okay, well, I gotta change the strategy now, and that's where, got 2 more potholes today, but,
And we could have another delegation next week. We had one the week before, and we know. We just can't do everything. That's
yeah,
the bottom.
I'm just saying in minutes,
Oh, yeah.
that for some reason, Myers Creek Road has never been mentioned but once, and I think it was Debbie Bliss mentioned it, but she was talking to actually one of the ladies here that. Sounds back to me. So that's, so I think it's concern was, okay, how do we get more involved? Because obviously, people I'm out talking to every year doesn't seem to do any good, so we need to get the.
Just don't
We need to
lose,
be back on the heads and on it.
just don't lose faith in this council. Okay? I think that's our bottom line. We want to tell you, don't lose faith in us.
We all know that road is. And unfortunately, we can't say we're gonna fix it now, or positively gonna fix it.
So basically, our tax money then is for the roads. So basically, our tax money goes to the general maintenance of the township. Doesn't go to the road budget. The roads are that get fixed or whatever you get from the government.
Yeah.
We do, but. We do take money out of the general fund or out of the reserves. Orange roads, not all the time, but we do. Sometimes.
Like the resurfacing part is basically done. Like Dean has convinced us. We're not going to do anything half-ass anymore. It's going to be the right way, and that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
Because we don't want a road to be again repaired in 5 years or 7 years. I think, did you say 5 to 7 years? Yeah. So we want it done right, and it may take us a little longer to do everything, but it's going to get done right.
Yeah, that makes, it makes sense to me. But, I was just acting like the our tax money, like we pay our taxes, you know, okay, so much goes to the road, but just from what you're saying, when you have to resurface a road, then it's just out of the provincial funds.
Right, the resurfacing part comes out of those two funds or those two grants. The rest of the roads department comes out of the general funds, which is Harold's the chair of that group. That's, I think I said 47% of our budget is on what he chairs. So it's significant. Sorry, he's the guy you're gonna need to talk to.
Well, Doug Ford first.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So I'm Brenda O'Connor, who's my client. I just want to clarify, so Brian, you mentioned each reward. So you always do, or it has to be each award takes a turn?
Not necessarily, I'm just saying that there is rewards and every ward has roads to be fixed.
Oh, okay.
But normally we look at the roads and try to do the one that we do the most.
It's more of a priority of the road. Safety and
Like take, for example, this year, those two roads are both in Ward 2,
I just wanted to clarify.
which is your Ward 2.
So
Oh, sorry, 2 and 1, right?
the two roads that are done.
1 and 1, 1 and 2.
Two different wards.
Yeah.
That's to get them done in Ward 2 next year is always nil.
He was kidding. Don't take that to the bank.
Smiles.
Do not take that to the bank, what he just said.
So then they're prioritized according to safety and then the budget. And how you prioritize in your, is it prioritized that you've done with the.
Condition, and then financially to fit it in.
So safety is not a factor.
Well, safety is along in with this.
Can you talk, that's
We do have an asset management plan as well. So we do follow our asset management plan accordingly, but we do, like, if there's other roads, like, if they, for instance, you know, this road here, Queen Street, it's not ours, but just say Queen Street was our road, and it's deteriorating significantly. Our asset management plan didn't say it's not due for resurfacing until 2025. You know, so we do have an asset management plan in place. That's what that.
Okay, so an asset management plan, like the road plan for the next 3 to 5 years.
All the municipal buildings, all the road infrastructure that we have. But we have an asset management plan.
And then the Public Works Roads Committee discusses once, twice, 3 times a year, what's happening with the roads out there.
Well, then if there's emergencies, it could be more, but then it all comes back to full council. Like, not just 3 of us can decide that, yes, it has to be done now. We all get comes back to all the council, Mr. Ollie. And then we'll sit down and talk about it, correct the price, which, you know, stuff like that. How much money do we have? How much money do we have to draw? And to make sure that we can cover the roads, cover.
Okay.
But
And I get-
we will be talking again about that road throughout this year. There's no fear in that.
So if we feel there's a bigger safety concern, we bring it up to Mr. Holly, who brings it up to the council, or should we be coming back to the council?
So you can bring it to me and I'll bring this to council and you're glad.
When you see the school bus driving on the edge of the creek and the woman is scared to death hanging onto the wheel. That's safety concern to me, you know. So it's.
Obviously, you brought that to council tonight,
Mhm.
so I don't have to bring it to council because we're in good.
Carl?
Can you tell these people what we operate on their tax dollars? What we pay the OTP government schools, was it 46 cents? 55. We work on 55.
No, we work
45.
Oh, so you need
at
it.
54
It's a
cents.
three-way
for every
split.
dollar that comes in, it's gone before we even have a chance.
Oh, yeah, I know that, it was cool.
Yeah. It's a three-way split.
For years.
Every one of your dollars is split three ways. Unfortunately, we don't get the most. So, does anyone else have any questions around the table? We're good? Again, thank you for being here.
Hold meeting now, we stick around.
Oh,
see how
by all
many
means.
hours.
Stick around.
Pretty boring.
Something.
Thank you.
Gotta learn how it's done.
Yeah.
We're all learning.
Go home, you have to watch the leaves. Oh.
One on the half.
You can be bored doing that or just sit here.
And if you get bored of the Leafs, you can watch the Blue Jays.
You're in love with Canadians, that's names.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Okay, before we move on to the minutes, I just have one announcement. I'd like a photo op if we could. We are happy to support this fundraising effort to benefit local healthcare, including St. Francis Memorial Hospital, Madawaska Valley, and the Hospice Palliative Care and the Valley Manor. So if we supported Smile Cookies. So if everybody would like to grab a cookie and gather around me, we'd like a photo op, please. Chris, could you take a picture too? Or maybe Terry could take a picture on your. Come on, grab a cookie. Got to hold your cookie up. And you got to hold your cookie up like this so it smiles, okay? Tammy? Christine?
that frown upside down.
Well, you still stand in the picture.
Look, I'm allergic to cookies.
Yeah, grab a cookie, you got to hold it.
I've been making tickets.
That one's there. Chris, we want you in the picture.
Oh, here he is.
Chris, you're in the picture. Dean, you're in the picture.
Come on, get a cookie.
All staff is on the
Oh,
picture.
you can't direct staff thing.
Council, they want, council,
True Tammy.
Tammy, well, get up here, Tam.
council, may I have the staff in the picture? No. Oh, he said. Get a cookie. He's gonna take your picture, Chris.
It's not kind of two rows.
Oh, that's-
Can you bring between Carl and Marine?
Chris, you got your cookie? Chris?
Yep.
Does he have your phone?
Carl, come closer.
I'll send it to
He'll send it. He'll scare you.
Okay, you got the boxes too?
Did you see my picture with the bull?
Mhm.
Not smiling, make the cookies face.
I'm smiling.
Thank you.
He's saying,
Jeffrey,
you never stop.
Those are upside down.
Okay.
Okay, I've touched it, but I can't eat it because I'm trying to lose
Would you
weight.
please another cookie?
Take it home with you.
There's all the pictures.
Yeah, I'll take it home.
So I just spoke on my bowl. No, not there. I have a bowl. I said, send me that with chicken under.
Would you guys like to be? You sure?
Really want?
Apparently.
This guy's kind of giving me like.
And you get to take these for tomorrow.
You give her a guess, a cookie.
I have.
Water or pop?
Okay, motion to approve the minutes of the regular council meeting.
Moved by Bill Smith, second by Maureen McMillan, motion to approve the minutes of the regular council meeting held on April the 25th, 2023, open and closed session.
All those in favor? Carried. Motion to approve the minutes of the committee meeting minutes.
Moved by Brian Pekoski, second by Harold Levine, motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting of April 11th, 2023, open session.
All those in favor? Carried. Hey, Mr. Holly. Your report.
Okay, so right now we're doing major road maintenance, full path grading, opening the block culverts, clipping maintenance, et cetera. Street sweeping continues on various roads. We previously got back our loader from the shop there, so we put the bucket back on it now, so it should be operational within today that it's operational. The county has their half loads will be coming off May 8th. We will see, so we will not be taking ours off May 8th because it's saturated roads. With the gravel roads, I don't want to put that our roads in jeopardy, so maybe the 15th of May, but I'm not sure on that, so we'll play it by ear just to see how the other goes. But I want to puncture any culverts and stuff like that right now, because obviously it's not an idea. Waste management, rough pile of the last landfill site was burnt Monday from the fire department. And the only other thing is we're still waiting a date for a meeting with neighboring counties on how they operate their waste management. So whenever I hear Carl, I'll let you know, and we'll try to get back. You were in my office by me, so I do, you never got back. He said Wednesday tomorrow, well, May for me, so yeah, so. So whenever we hear back from that, then I'll let you know, and we'll get the committee together and we can go visit the site. Other than that, that's all my report.
Good. Any discussion, questions?
You don't know from the county that when it comes to paint. Speed limits, no. Just shout out to your deputy road super, Mr. Keel. When my father-in-law, so I got lost, I got off the chain. He was walking down the road and heard a bark, and they went way back in the bush. Down the border, they broke the chain, got stopped. If you wouldn't have heard the poor thing, that would be. Yeah, heard it. Taking my hobby to smile.
Okay, thanks, Dean. Chris?
Okay. Been busy last Been a busy last couple of weeks in the community development world. Start off with our KHR Volunteer Appreciation Awards, which was April 21st. As you can see there, we've got a big group of smiling people. It was really nice opportunity for volunteers to have some heartfelt conversations about the things that they appreciate about each other. Overall, we got a lot of good feedback about that and the awards. And it was just a really nice night, like I said, for everyone to kind of come together and take some appreciation because these volunteers are what run our communities, and these people don't always ask for it, but it's always nice for them to get some recognition for the stuff that they've done. So environmental action tour, we're up to 95 participants, so we're almost at 100, which is almost double what we started with when we first started in 2020. That does not include KPS and St. Andrews schools who were out this last week cleaning up the village of Killaloe, which was really cool. If you saw the army of kids running around. So the participants is a record number. Same with the teams, record number. Meet and greet, record number, 50 people. And special thanks to the Killaloe Library for letting us host. So you can see a nice picture of Clint and Ian playing guitar there. We didn't end up postponing the event, which was a good call because it was a pretty miserable day on Saturday and Sunday. So the rain date is May 13th. However, some people weren't able to make that, so we're allowing them to do it in between. But we hope that people will come out May 13th so that we can have the big day. And to the public, there's still time to sign up. So if you want to put in a team, we're really hoping to get over that 100 threshold. That'd be a really big statement. But the big thing is that people got to come together on Friday night and meet like-minded people and know they're not alone in their care for the environment. Tourism. So I attended the Ottawa Valley Tourism AGM, which is the first one they've had in person in a long time. It was really great to meet see a lot of my peers there and have some interesting updates about what's going on with the Ottawa Valley Tourist Association. It was at the Maple House, which I've never been to, so it was really nice. And I also attended the Bonshire Valley Tourism Strategy. They were able to get a grant for $35,000 to do this tourism strategy plan. They did some really creative grant writing with that. And I'm hoping that that's something we as a municipality can put on our radar when we're redoing our strategic plan.
because it's really interesting, some of the stuff that came out of that in regards to kind of, what's important for them, to their community, to tourists, and what kind of needs they have for that as a growing area. So really, well done to Marshall Valley, Dana, the council, as well as their administration for getting that going, because it's one of the first ones in the Ottawa Valley. I think only 2 other people have done it, so really, really awesome. The OBIA conference was awesome in London, excellent workshops, amazing trade show, strong networking, really great people there, good connections I made. I've got a whole bunch of awesome new ideas. So thank you to council for supporting me to go to that. I feel like I've got a lot of really great things from that, as well as inspiration for our community that I'll be bringing out in future projects. But thank you so much. I really appreciate your support for sending me that. So on the note of grants, we were successful in receiving $5,000 from Celebrate Canada, which is $1,000 more than we got in 2022. Particularly this year, you may be seeing with a lot of the grants for summer students and things, people were getting less, but we actually got more. So we were able to show the need strongly about that program that we're doing for Canada Day. And I also had submitted a grant, quite a lengthy process for Experience Ontario, but I did submit an application for roughly $10,000 to pay for half the cost of the Irish Gathering. So hopefully we'll get that. Summer students, so the interview process has kept us pretty busy. We had the interview process April 13th and 14th. The summer experience program, we were successful in receiving 1 position for $3,812. What's really important about this is only 100 positions were funded for this whole program. We got one of them. So pretty happy to hear that. Some other municipalities weren't as fortunate, but we were lucky to get that 1 position, especially considering they had so few available. And the Canada Summer Jobs Grant, we were successful for 6 positions for a total of $11,857.50. Tammy does have a motion to approve our summer students who we assume we'll get to that at the end of the report, but there is a motion. We've picked our summer students that we want, and so we just need council to approve that. So farmers market, so this as you know, we put in an application for Taste of Valley, which is really great. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to do it, but with meeting with the farmers market, we were able to come up with a couple of dates, and so we're hoping that will be successful for 2024. We also have the approval of the Station Park Killdew Farmers Market 2023, which is the document that you see right here. So I'm just going to go briefly through this because a lot of it we've already talked about. So stop me if I'm going too fast, but a lot of this we've already reviewed. So it's just the new stuff I'm going to talk about. So the abstract basically says that this is the final draft of this document, and then within this document you will see the protocols, requirements, and safety guidelines the organizers must follow if you want to have this event at Station Park. In addition to this, you'll also see requests that they've made. This has come from our meeting that we had with the Economic Development Committee. All these items have been reviewed and discussed at length with the Economic Development Committee and the Killdew Farmers Market Group. And should council have any additions or revisions, please make them known now so that we can finalize that process. And once this agreement is approved, staff will notify the Killdew Farmers Market Group, seek the required documents, and ensure requirements are met. And only after those items are received and approved, the agreement will be signed. So basically, we're looking for you today to say this is all good. We can give that approval so they can start getting things going, and then we can move forward with that. So the format is a contract between the municipality, Killdew and Richards, and the Farmers Market Group, consisting of the Killdew Area Alliance Club and the Heritage Society, as well as us. A mock of this agreement can be found on the next page. It's just a draft, but just to give you an idea what it's going to look like. The one thing council's gonna have to figure out today that we didn't talk about was, so the process we'd like to use is special events permit, just because that gives us the best kind of indication of all the stuff that we've said in addition to this. But we never discussed if we wanted to have a fee for that. It's typically $100, so council will have to decide if they want to waive that or keep that fee. Everything else has been predetermined. The length of the contract, May 19th to October 21st, and of course, Saturdays from 8 to 2 p.m. The requests from the farmers market were this, the water use, so they're asking if they can use from the water from the park fountain and the Reserve Information Center washroom. In addition to that, they wanted the washroom, which we had already agreed upon in previous documents, but just that just to notify that in the request part. And advertising, they've also asked if they can put a sign up at their own cost for the main sign at Kill Loop. And so they've asked if they can put something up there or maybe on the road, but that's the only request that they had. Pretty much everything else was locked in. The permit, like the contract, period of use, advertising, all that stuff like that's already kind of been figured out. The park layout, power supply, that's all, nothing's changed. Vehicles in the park, nothing's changed. We did have some discussions about designated loading and unloading times. Also going back, my apologies, we did change the diagram slightly to reflect their needs, but pretty much all the same. The main difference with this is in the original agreement, they had said that I had set a set number of cars, but they have said that that wouldn't be possible. So we've come up with a mitigation that they would observe this, and if someone comes through the park, they will stop the traffic, and that no vehicles once the event started are allowed to be in the park. So as a group, we felt that was pretty reasonable. Accessibility, nothing's changed there. Health unit approvals, nothing's changed there. Water use, nothing's changed there. Irish gathering insurance, nothing's changed there. So the meeting went really well. Pretty much everything was just basically refining a few other things. And if council's okay with it, then we just need to basically have a motion to approve this and just let me know if we do want to have that cost associated with that. And then finally, other updates. I did have a Beaver Tails meeting April 11th, Kidloop Baptist Park meeting April 12th, the Algonquin History Workshop, very well attended and very good. And I have tomorrow the Economic Development 101 workshop in Calvin. That's my report.
Take a breath. Discussion. You start then.
What are the dates? Kind of the week or dates about?
2024. Or this year's.
I didn't bring my other.
Maybe that's something you can think of.
Yeah, of course.
And another thing, the sign, so if they wanna put a sign on our sign, or they wanna put their own sign?
They want to put, you know how we do like Canada Day
Yeah.
and whatever, they just basically want to have their own, that says farmers market from whatever time to whatever time.
Attached to or something,
Permanently or just
For the seed.
that would there still be room on there for your scouting and something going?
They would be, I would think the third one down, like we would have our own second car, and then it would just go the one down. So I believe there's room because it's probably about 4 feet off the ground. I would have to determine that, but some sort of sign, even if that didn't work, then I was thinking maybe just a post on there, like what they would normally have for the farmers market, but something just different. So they were.
We have to be careful because county has to approve all signs.
Yeah,
Okay.
they took down all the signs that I put up for the party in the park.
Yeah.
You can't put anything on anything that's where they've got a sign up, whether it's for the township or a speed, you can't put anything on those posts.
I think we would be all right if we put it on our side.
no, our sign, the one that says welcome to Killaloo, and then Beaver Tails underneath. We can put anything on that.
I know, but I'm just confirming that because I said if that doesn't work, they might do another sign.
Oh,
We just can't put a
No,
sign
no,
there.
right.
It's gotta go
Our-
over the county.
our preference is on our sign. I think that's what you're saying, Ted.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. The preference is to be on our sign.
Absolutely, and if that's council's wish, if that doesn't work out, then I will make sure that all proper procedures are followed, just to make sure we're not in any ways bad books there.
Yeah.
So you'll have to gauge how big our Irish gathering sign is for them. So do you wanna? Would it be the same size as that and take that sign down when we put the Irish gathering sign up, or how
Our
does?
signs would take precedent, and then theirs would just be kind of where there's room for that. I think from what I can gather, looking at it, it looks like there's gonna be room.
Isn't it Beaver Tails at the bottom? Or no, Beaver Tails at the top?
I honestly can't remember.
I see it every day. How is it?
I think the beaver tails are at the bottom.
Yeah.
It was at the top.
Yeah,
Then
then there's a
big
gap in the
there.
middle, right?
Yeah.
There's a big gap.
Yeah, there's quite a big gap there. Yeah,
Yeah,
so.
fill that up.
So working with what we have would be, they're flexible in that, it would just be. What we're able to do.
Is everybody okay with that? Fill the gap? Fill the
One more
gap.
question for the committee. Committee is all good with this.
Yeah, we had a very good meeting with them and yeah, it was a fantastic one. They were really on board with all of the things that we were asking and they just asked for a few things and yeah, it's such a good spot for the farmers
The only other thing I have is, I think we should wait it down though. Okay. In my opinion.
Well, let's take a vote right now because that was on my list too. All those in favor of waiving the $100? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, waived.
Then there'd just be the motion to approve this document as it sits then.
Okay, that sounds good. Motion to approve the document with which will include the waiving of the $100. Oh.
I have a motion
Oh.
prepared, but not to waive the $100. So I've moved by Maureen McMillan, second by Bill Smith, whereas the corporation of the township of Killaloe, Hagerty and Richards agrees to enter into an agreement between the municipality and the Killaloe Farmers Market Group pending all listed requirements and approvals as stated in Station Park, Killaloe Farmers Market 2023.
So that's the motion. Do we need a resolution to waive that? Or can we
This
put
is,
the $100?
no, I can have that prepared for the next meeting,
Okay, so not do it tonight.
not for the $100, no.
Any discussion on the motion right now? All those in favor? Carried.
London, it was right downtown.
The downtown ones?
It was at the RBC place.
Oh, yeah.
It's very nice. London is very cool. It's like you've gone back in time, you turn around the block and you're in the 1800s. Yeah.
Quite a place. Do they? Never mind. I won't ask that question. Are you done all your questions?
Yeah.
Did I see a hand down here? Yeah, it's like you're off the hook.
We just need the motion for the summer students.
Moved by Bill Smith, second by Maureen McMillan, whereas the council for the township of Killaloe, Hagerty and Richards agrees to the hiring of the following summer students. Michaela Vandergraat as the community development assistant, Emily Mintha for the visitors information center, Riley Comerford as the plant caretaker, Grace Beauchamp as the swim instructor, Lucas Velakis as the assistant swim instructor, Grant Summers as public works laborer, and Ethan Mask as public works laborer.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Here. You good?
Okay, thank you very much, council. Have a great night.
But take your cookies, but I'd like you to stay just for, when we go through correspondence, okay? If you don't mind.
Okay, good.
Okay, committee reports.
I have.
Oh, your turn, sorry.
That's okay. I just, I got a request from the librarian and she's asking for an advance in her payment. So she's asking council to consider either $10,000 or $20,000. So I have a motion, prepared and I just want to know, if council would consider, the advancement and for the amount.
Okay, yeah, question?
Yeah, normally we do that, and what is the amount we normally?
We've done one already, Brian, we've done,
20 or 10?
The first one that we've done was 20.
we've done one already. This is the second one. So, any other questions? Carol, do you have a question?
No.
So, we know what we're gonna do, so. I'll throw this on the floor, 20,000. Is everybody okay with that? Yeah. So 20,000, so let's see a show of hands for that. That one's carried. We'll see a second.
No,
part.
I have to read.
No,
this.
you have to read
I
it.
have to read this. So, moved by Maureen McMillan, second by Brian Pekoski, whereas the corporation of the township of Killaloe, Haggerty and Richards agrees to provide the Killaloe and District Public Library with an advance in payment in the amount of $20,000.
All those in favor? Carried. That's it for you? Okay. Let's move on to, any committee, anybody on committee, any,
Well, I'll give a little report. Chris and I sat on, the Civic, was it Civic Kids? The website developers, Civic Kids. Anyway, they're a municipal website developer. I haven't got their quote yet for what it's going to cost, but I think it's significantly cheaper. They're from Western Canada.
They did, so they sent us a thing that
Oh, they did. I didn't
it
get
was
that.
I believe, just off the top of my head, 5,000 for the, and then 2,500 a year.
Oh my gosh, so that's amazing. So that went from a $30,000 from an Ontario company to a $5,000. So they're in Western Canada and they really want to break into the Ontario market. They work with a lot of municipalities. They've been working with municipalities for 10 years now. So they're a little, I think the other company was like 20, 25 years. I keep looking and I, with both of our brains, I'm gonna come up with all this information. But significantly cheaper, much more cost effective and really nice looking websites. And the nice thing that they do is they will migrate all of your existing information onto the site, which the other company did not want to do for
Wow.
$30,000. So,
wow,
so this seems,
Including our some of these people.
they will fix them all. We're gonna be able to have fillable forms, easy to use, like very user friendly. Yeah.
Very impressive.
Yeah, we were both very impressed. Yeah.
so if we let you two on this file for another month, you'll cut the price further?
No. I think this is about as low as we're gonna get. So, yeah, so we told them, they said we work with municipalities, so I think our next step is build a portfolio and kind of look for the right grant.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
So,
good,
anyway,
good job.
but that's good news for us, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other committees want to speak? No, we're good. Okay, correspondence. Wow, there's only 5 this time. That's a record. That's true. Okay, I'll just read off.
That's why I said we gotta keep it.
Yeah. Town of Bracebridge. Resolution regarding school bus stop arm cameras. Ryan, do you have any comments?
Yeah, I think we should support that. Again, having myself and town know, we were at that, at the conference in Toronto, we were at that talk, with something else that I think is very important. The safety, and I think the resolution may have been placed with the talking, we want the provincial government to fund it. That's the question I had before, was where is the money coming from? And that looks like the right place.
That's the right place.
So I say you should put that.
Awesome. So do we need to do a resolution?
Take that away.
Moved by Harold Levine, second by Brian Pekoski, whereas the corporation of the township of Killaloe, Haggerty and Richards supports the motion brought forward by the town of Bracebridge for school bus stop arm cameras. Now therefore be it resolved that the council of the township of Killaloe, Haggerty and Richards urges the provincial government to require all school buses to have stop arm cameras installed and paid for by the province for the start of the 2023-2024 school year, and underwrite the costs for the implementation and ongoing annual costs for the administrative monetary penalties in small and rural municipalities. And further, that this resolution be circulated to Premier Doug Ford, Attorney General Doug Downey, Minister of Education Stephen Leclerc, Minister of Natural Resources and Forestry, and MPP for Perry Sound, Muskoka, Graydon Smith, provincial opposition parties, AMO, and all municipalities in Ontario.
Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. The next one is the men's shed. Everyone received a copy of this. I talked about this briefly the last meeting. I gave Chris a copy of this also.
I think you missed one. You missed B. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Invasive fragment.
Road management action on invasive. Okay, somebody help me with the word. Fragmites. Okay. Okay. Having said that one, now we're into the men's den or men's shed. So, council, would you like Chris to explore this? Has everybody read this?
Yeah.
Like it's real. Oh, yeah. Right. So would you like
I would
Chris?
like to.
take a look at it first?
Well, I'd like to.
Okay, that'd be great. Okay. Perfect. Bye-bye.
Thank you, council.
Chris, do you have any comments on this? Did you look through it?
I like the idea, the main piece would be kind of scope for me, and time, like how we would, kind of scale that up. We'd have to have the right community partners and, ideally, we would want to be looking for volunteers who would be interested in getting that going, and ultimately with a program like that, you want to have the volunteers, so, I definitely like the idea. I think that men's health, personally, I've been involved with November for many years, men's mental health, and health is something that often gets overlooked, so I think it's really important for men to have a place to congregate and talk and work and socialize, but the main thing would be just kind of how we roll that out, and so I'd definitely be willing to look into how to make it work, but definitely not wouldn't be able to give an exact timeline, or there's quite a bit of moving parts in that. So like I say, we'd have to find the right community partners, and ideally the way I look at it would be volunteer run and community driven, like it is in that one, because that would definitely be the best place to work. But something that maybe we could just work on and see how that goes, because right now it would be tough with the events and stuff, but for the future, if we found the right people, I can see where I like the program a lot. I think the program is really interesting for sure.
We'll let everyone read this. We'll bring it back next meeting and let's make a decision if let Chris pursue this, and also maybe we could bring the gentleman from our prior in and he could go over the presentation. I saw the presentation at county and it was unbelievable. He's a really good speaker, and he speaks from the heart, and this program is really important. Take, for example, like someone like Carl, retired, we could get him busy doing things. Anyways, that was just a little sideline I wanted to add. Anyways, see ya.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
Chris.
What's that?
Did you want an extra cookie?
No, I'm extra smiling today. All right, thank you, council.
Motion in support of Bill 5, stopping harassment and abuse by local leaders that act letter to Doug Ford.
No, but I could prepare one for the next meeting. I can have one prepared for the next meeting.
Town of Fort Erie. Resolution change to the municipal oath of office. No comments. Okay. Is there any unfinished business?
We have a little bit of unfinished business.
Okay. Please.
So you're progressive, this is the Killu water tap. Yeah. We just want to kind of let you know where we stand. So we have talked to Dale, and Dale he's trying to find a solution for us, but I don't want to bring anything back until he's found a solution. So we just wanted to do something a little freaky to make, the meeting. And I have brought pens for everyone, just to keep it in our just to keep it front and center. And there is a pen for Dale, so, but Dale is working on some solutions, so we just want people to know that we haven't forgotten about the water. We're still looking for some solutions. It's a good pen, Carl. Oh, the joy it brings to your life.
There is,
Yeah, it's out of my personal budget.
there is never a dull moment around here, is there?
So we're still working on things. We hope to keep the conversation alive. We're just waiting for the right solution to come up, and it hasn't come up yet. So we just want to know we just want everyone to know where we stand.
Maureen, does this look like a coffin?
Yeah. And two.
Okay, is there any, so that's unfinished business, any new business? Any new business? Go ahead.
I'd like to consider, raising up, flag during the month, to recognize,
Is it reference to the crosswalk?
Sidewalk.
sidewalk, yeah.
I have no problem. I got no problem.
I put a motion forward, Ted.
Let's hear the motion.
Moved by Bill Smith, second by Ted Brown. Be it resolved that the township will raise an inclusive pride flag during the month of June to acknowledge Pride Month.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 6.
Unanimous.
No water. No.
Yeah, never say never. Yeah.
You can fly the flag, but you're still.
And when the vote, and when the vote does come, we want to raise these pens.
Yeah. Maybe we could sell those for like $3 a piece to pay for the tax.
Motion to enter into committee of the whole,
Only if we have something.
Okay.
Only if we have something.
only if we have something. Do we have something?
Not on my end.
Does anyone?
Nope.
Okay,
Or just water tap.
Motion to go home and watch the leaves.
so
Yeah. The Blue Jays are on.
can I have a motion for the confirming bylaw?
Moved by Ted Brown, second by Maureen McMillan, that bylaw 15/2023 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council of the township of Killaloe, Hagerty, and Richards at its regular meeting held on May 2nd, 2023, be given its first, second, and third reading and finally passed this second day of May 2023.
All those in favor? Carried. Motion to adjourn.
Moved by Bill Smith, second by Maureen McMillan, motion to adjourn the regular council meeting of May 2nd, 2023 for the township of Killaloe, Hagerty, and Richards.
All those in favor? Carried.
Thanks for coming down.
Yeah.
Right.